What up, y'all? Your boy Krayzie Bone in the building. I want to take a few minutes to get at some of my young, up-and-coming artists out here that's on the verge, that's on the rise and on the verge of stardom. You know what I'm saying? I know this life can be very overwhelming when you first get in and you start seeing success and your notoriety level heightens. It's definitely a great feeling, I can tell you that. But one thing we always have to remember is that, especially if you're coming up from the streets or the struggle or whatever, you always have to remember that everybody is not happy you made it. And I'm speaking to the ones that really did come up from the streets and was determined to make something out, to make it out the hood, to make something of themselves, not the fakers. You know, it's a notion that we have as black men or black people that when we make it, especially when we come from the streets, that we got to keep it real for the streets. But I want you to think about this and ask yourself for a minute. Has the streets ever held your best interest in consideration? No. These streets done drained so much blood from us. We done suffered so many tragedies in these streets that for the life of me, I cannot understand why we feel so obligated to the streets. I don't understand. You don't owe the streets nothing. We don't owe the streets nothing, especially when most of the time we was forced to be there. Nobody wanted to be in the hood living in some of the conditions we had to live in, or some of the conditions that people are still living in today. So again, why do we feel so obligated to keep it real for the streets? Don't get me wrong now, you know what I'm saying? I understand keeping it real and going back to help the people that supported you and believed in you during your struggles. You know, your closest homies, your friends and all that. That's cool, that's cool. That's Mando. You gotta help them. But other than that, you have to remove yourself from the atmosphere. And it's a shame, I know. It's a shame because when we become successful, we want to go back to where we come from and inspire other people. But it's a shame that we can't be successful and remain amongst our own people and feel safe. Did you work as hard as you worked in your career to get what you wanted in life, only to throw it away and end up back where you didn't want to be, where you were so desperately trying to get away from? No, I don't think so. But yet still, that's what some of us do. We gotta start training ourselves and putting on a new personality. We can't do both. It ain't nothing wrong with wanting to live in a better place and not be surrounded by drugs and violence and the things that we see in the inner city neighborhoods or communities or whatever. Real talk. It's time for us to stop trying to be real niggas and start being real men for a change. Because, you know, real niggas die hard. Real men try hard not to die. Real talk. And I'm looking at a lot of the younger generation in the game today that's on the verge of becoming stars, but they're wrestling. They're wrestling with both worlds, trying to make that transition from the streets into the industry. But trust me when I tell you, man, if you want to keep what you've worked so hard to gain, what you sacrificed for, then you simply have to let the streets go. Think about it. That's what you worked so hard to get away from. Why linger around? Why hang around? Putting yourself and your life at risk. See, when we first got in the game, we did the same thing. We tried to keep it real. We tried to stay in the hood, try to prove to everybody that we didn't change. But if you think about it, most of the times, we not the ones that change. The people around us are the ones that change now that you found your success. You notice how when you get on, niggas that never even said hello to you before is now acting like they know you just because you made it, or just because you went to school with them, or you saw them in the hood, they never spoke. But you saw him in the hood, and all of a sudden, oh, that's my man, that's my nigga. We grew up. We went to school together. We grew up together. Nah, homie. We grew up around each other. We didn't grow up together. Because if we would have grew up together, you'd have starved with me. You'd have been homeless with me. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with closing one chapter in your life and opening up a brand new beginning. Don't let what other people say make you feel bad about the decisions that you made. The world that we live in is crazy, and when you get your shot and opportunity to get out of a bad situation, you better run with it, and you better run fast, because I guarantee you, if the shoe was on the other foot, and that person that's talking about you being a sellout or whatever they saying, if they got that same opportunity, they wouldn't hesitate to take it, I guarantee. And other niggas would be talking about them. You sell out, because they do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They do the same thing. So you can still do stuff for your neighborhood and not necessarily have to be there all the time. People may think I'm advising niggas to sell out or to just forget about the hood, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm advising people to be smart. I'm advising people to stay alive and enjoy your success so you can reap the benefits of your success while you're alive. You know how they like to do you. Never give you your props till you're dead and gone. That's how they play us. Be smart and stay alive. We've seen so many negative and bad examples, and we've seen some real stand-up dudes try to keep it real for their community or their hood or whatnot, and it goes all wrong. It goes all wrong. We don't even have to mention any names. All I'm saying is be smart, because we have enemies on both sides. The powers that be and some of your own people. Truth be told.